It's just to interject there
Yeah,
real quick.
please.
It's just it's exhausting, is what it feels like, right? It feels like, I mean, like initially it's not a big deal, right? Because you kind of feel like you're needed, right?
Sure,
You feel
sure.
like you have this job and you have this role, and you're like, oh yeah, no, 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 you're great. No, you look great, and
Yeah,
everything's great, and yeah, oh, how are you feeling, right? But if you have to do that all the time, and she's constantly seeking it, and she's contacting you, and constantly baiting you for compliments,
yeah,
and trying to make herself feel better by
yeah,
connecting with you all the time, it just, over time, what ends up happening is guys start feeling tired, and they start thinking in their mind, like, I don't know if I could be with her long term,
yeah.
because like this is something that he knows that he's going to have to deal with for the rest of your lives together. And so
Right.
he's like, for a lot of guys, it ends up kind of cutting you off from being long-term relationship type of material,
Yeah.
not because he doesn't want to have you as a long-term relationship, but because he doesn't feel like he's really up to the task, because,
Right.
or if he even wants it, right? Like,
Yeah.
do I want to experience this forever?
And even if he wants it, like, can I even be successful in helping her
Right.
feel better? Because every time I tell her she looks fine, she says, no, I don't. So you're making him
Mhm.
feel unsuccessful if you're kind of rejecting that idea.
Right.
So, and
Yeah,
then,
and also I just want to say one
yeah,
other
yeah,
thing is
yeah.
that what ends up happening is that it usually gets worse,
Yeah.
right? Because at first, for the first couple of months that you meet somebody, there's kind of this persona thing, right, where you're on like your good behavior, and then you're right, and you're hanging out, and then over time, what happens is you start becoming more and more comfortable, and
Yeah,
so your stuff starts coming out more and more and more,
totally.
right? And if it's like crazy, right, and it just keeps getting worse and worse, which is what ends up happening if you're really down on yourself, and you're really depressed, and every time you're around him you feel good, but that's the only time you feel good is when you're around him. You start getting addicted
Yeah.
to being around him, and that emotion, and whatever he does in order to trigger that emotional state that you have. And so
Hmm.
you're constantly seeking it, right? and
Hmm.
and for him, it's like overload, and
Totally, totally. And I think that you just touched on the kind of the most important thing is that we think we want, flat abs or like